28 years later, The Bone Temple, directed by Nia DaCosta, starring Ralph Fiennes, Alfie Williams, and a slew of kooky, wacky, interesting characters. It's the best movie of the weekend. I think it's an improvement over the last film, and I personally liked it quite a bit. Now, before I get into the review, I will say I'm going to be spoiling both the last movie and this movie. It's the only way I can really properly talk about what I want to talk about. So if you haven't seen the film, go out and watch it, come back, watch the video. Now with that out of the way, let's get right into it. So this film picks up right where we left off on the last film. It is a direct sequel to 28 years later. If you haven't seen the last movie, you're gonna be a little lost watching this film. Alfie Williams' character Spike gets involved in this really kooky gang. He gets captured by a gang of, they call themselves the Jimmies. And we also have Ralph Fiennes' character Dr. Kelson dealing with the alpha zombie, trying to find out if there's any sense of humanity left in these zombies. He's desperately trying to solve the virus, while Spike is desperately just trying to stay alive. And eventually in the film, these two characters reunite, and that's kind of the general plot of this movie. One of the things I hated about the last movie was the ending. I think the first 2/3, even 3/4 of the movie were great, and then the ending just does a 180. It turns into an entirely different movie, and I thought the ending of the last movie was pretty bad. But now that I've seen this film, and I've seen the vision of what both these movies are collectively, I think the last movie is significantly better, and I actually don't hate the ending anymore. If you're just watching 28 years later by itself, it's not as good as if you watched that movie immediately followed by this one. I think these two are necessary together. I think both storylines of the Bone Temple are very entertaining to watch. Alfie trying to survive with this gang of Jimmies. They're a pretty interesting group to follow. They're goofy, they're wacky, they follow this fake god. You do learn a little bit of backstory about the main Jimmy. And one of the Jimmies, played by Erin Kellyman, you can actually relate to that character. You can see how she got there. It's basically just post-apocalyptic gang of crazy characters. It's nothing really necessarily new with these Jimmy characters, but it is very entertaining to watch, and the acting is superb. And I do like how it all reconvenes in the end. Now, the far more interesting story plot, played by Ralph Fiennes' character, where he's trying to cure the virus. He's just trying to find some sort of humanity into these zombies. The main way he's doing that is doing experiments with Samson, the alpha zombie from the last movie. And I am going to spoil this, so get ready. In the end of this movie, the zombie ends up talking. More than a couple of words. He's not cured, but he's temporarily cured. And this gives Dr. Kelson some light at the end of the tunnel. He's about to call it all. He doesn't think he can cure the virus. Boom. Something happens. There's a human inside the alpha zombie. He sees it. Unfortunately, his character passes away, so I don't know where they're going to go with the plot points on that. But I found that was a very interesting plot point, where they're actually kind of reversing the virus a little bit in this film. And I thought that was interesting. Now, going from the last movie to this movie is a pretty big tonal shift, just kind of why I didn't like the ending of the last film. Honestly, the ending of 28 years later should have been the intro of this film, and I think it would have all made more sense. But the last movie was very more of your traditional horror film. It was good, but it didn't stray too far away from the tropes of the zombie apocalypse genre. While this one definitely has the tropes, there's a lot of this you've seen before, but there is some style to this film. In particular, there is a 3-minute scene where Ralph Fiennes is like singing and doing air guitar to an Iron Maiden song, and it's a crazy scene, but it fits somehow. This film just there's some more style to it. It's almost got a little bit of Scott Pilgrim, Shaun of the Dead kind of vibes. Doesn't take itself too seriously, and I enjoyed that for this film. I think it fit very well, especially with the Jimmy characters. They don't take themselves too seriously, and the film knows that. As far as acting goes, I think Alfie Williams did great yet again. One of my favorite new characters was Erin Kellyman playing one of the Jimmies. She was my favorite Jimmy, for sure. Like I said, I really liked the main boss Jimmy. He did a great job in his role. But man, Ralph Fiennes he just killed it. Easily the best character of this film. I think he was the best character of the last movie, too. He just sold it. He just sold being a doctor who's just trying to save the world. One zombie at a time. He's just trying to help. He's a kooky character in the last one. He's a kooky character in this one. And he just nailed that role. I was really sad to see him go. I don't think the films are going to be as good with him gone. But that being said, the ending of this film, here's another big spoiler. The ending of this film sees our two main characters, Spike and one of the Jimmies that helped him out. They escape their situation. They're off to go find some peace or some, they're off to do an adventure. And our boy Cillian Murphy from the first movie and his supposedly daughter, that's who they end up finding. It's the very ending scene. It's the last 2 minutes. It sets up the third movie. And on one hand, I'm really excited because it's bringing it all around. The same character from the first movie is still active in this movie. And it's going to be what the next movie is about. So on that hand, I'm really excited for that. But I also don't know where they're going to go with the next movie. I really have no idea. Because they ended the Ray Fiennes plot point, because he's dead. They ended the Jimmy plot point, because they're dead. The only plot point that's still going is Alfie's plot point. But his story's been over, like his mom dead. And dad, he doesn't see them. He doesn't know his friend, Dr. Kelson, anymore. I don't know what the ending for his character is going to be. And I don't know if they're going to bring back the Samson Alpha plotline because Ray Fiennes is now gone. So I really don't know what the next movie is going to be about. They didn't really set anything up, just with the exception of our new main character running into the character from the original film. So I have no idea what they're going to do with it. I am looking forward to seeing it, though. Overall, I think this movie is a pretty big improvement of the last one. I also think this movie improves the last movie in my mind. I would actually bump my score up to a 7 out of 10 for the last film now. I think the acting was good. I think the editing was good. I think there were a couple story points I don't necessarily agree with. But overall, I was very entertained with this movie. The 2 hours flew by. I'm going to give 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, a solid 8 out of 10. I think you should go watch it this weekend. I think it's the best movie that came out this weekend, and I think you're going to enjoy it. If you've seen the film or the last one, let me know what you thought of it down below. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to. See you next time.